What is the best mobile game of 2024? With a year of exceptional standout titles in video games, it's not always easy to make a choice. For this third edition of the Mobi Awards, we let you judge the best gems of 2024 through a series of polls. We'll go over all of that throughout this video, and then we'll also tease you with a bunch of epic mobile games coming in 2025. Throughout the month of December, you voted to support your favorite titles. And by the way, a big thank you, because so many of you participated this year with a total of nearly 9,500 votes. Get ready for a compilation of the best, and then we'll announce the grand winner of the Mobi Awards right here, exclusively, 2024. For this edition, we've selected 36 mobile games released in 2024, and that's why you won't find games like Genshin Impact or Call of Duty Mobile, which were released long before. These 36 games will compete for the first time through 9 themed polls. For you. To name a few, we'll have tactical RPGs, roguelikes, adventure games, and even the most popular PvP titles right now. After the first round, we'll have 9 winners who will then face off in the semi-finals. And in the end, there will be only one left among the 3 finalists who have competed, a merciless battle on our social media. And only one will be able to rise to the top of the podium to become the grand winner of the Mobi Awards 2024. Alright, you know the rules, and now it's time for the duel. The first poll to enter the arena focuses on puzzle games. In this category, we have the games Beyond the Room and Boxes Lost, Fragments, in very different styles, but also Paper Trail and the Case of the Golden Idol. Voting varied quite a bit from community to community, but the number of votes separated the top 2 games on YouTube to win boxes. I'm still a bit surprised that the Case of the Golden Idol didn't get a few more votes. In any case, Boxes Lost Fragments is the best puzzle game of the year at the Mobi Awards 2024. It's Stab Break behind the puzzle game series from now on that brought us this gem. A bit like House of Da Vinci, Boxes focuses on unique, nested objects full of details to solve tricky puzzles. But on a small scale, you can manipulate them, rearrange them, and progress through the levels using only clever boxes. There's definitely enough to twist your brain with all these interlocking mechanical pieces. Expect to pay around $7 to unlock the full game after the free demo. So we have our first winner in its category, and I suggest we head over to the casual games released this year. Here, we see it settling down. Touchgranks, the stunning Art of Rally, Disney Speedstorm, and Pokémon TCG Pocket. The predictions from the Mobi.gg team. They were obvious, and you didn't make us lie. We all thought that Pokémon TCG Pocket would come out as the big winner in this category. And that's exactly what happened, because it really crushed all competition with 73% of the votes in its favor. You all have a serious case of collecting fever as soon as you see your 2 daily boosters come by. And that makes sense. We also fell into it. The Pokémon cards are stunning, even if the collection system can be a bit annoying. In the end, it's the principle of gachas, and it also makes you want to grind. The duels are honestly pretty trivial, but if you like the idea of having a beautiful collection of cards on your phone with sleeves and decorations, then you're in the right place. Next, we move on to the category that's all about serious collecting fever and grinding, the Gacha RPGs. We're talking here about games with a roster of characters and items to collect, thanks to reward systems and loot boxes like Hexastre's Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waven, and Solo Leveling Arise. It was a pretty balanced category except for Hexastre's, which only garnered 5% of the votes. If you love complete and urban worlds in an anime style, then Zenless Zone Zero will surely be your jam, and you even voted it the best Gacha RPG of 2024. In New Eridu, the last bastion of humanity is threatened by supernatural disasters called the Voids. You play as a proxy whose goal is to recruit agents to explore the voids and gather resources. The result is very beautiful, and we get a character design that you won't easily forget. The next category is about a genre that's very popular in our community. Tactical RPGs. Here, you had the choice between the classic Sword of Convalaria, the beautiful Afk journey with its optimized compositions, the strategic Grimguard tactics, or the game for Dofus fans, Waven. It was relatively close, with votes well distributed between AFK, Journey, and Waven. And we can understand our heart. It was balanced. AFK Journey was a strong contender. But Waven awakened the entire French community and won the title of Best Tactical RPG of 2024 on mobile. Available for free on Google Play and the App Store. Waven is a game made in France and developed by Ankama Games. You play as a sea adventurer where only a few islands have survived the Great Upheaval. From island to island, discover a deck-building tactical RPG with colorful art and cartoonish graphics. Solo or in teams, in PvP and PvE, test all types of characters, equipable items, spells, companions, weapons, and combinations. The game already offers many quests with varying levels of challenges for your strategic skills and your quest for greatness. We fully endorse this experience inspired by the battles of Dofus. Let's move on to the best PvP games. This category featured the MOBA Honor of Kings, Age of Empires Mobile, Supercell's Air called Squad Busters, and the FPS Bloodstrike. The results for the PvP games were the closest of all the selections for the Mobi Awards, with 3 out of 4 games. Between 25 and 35% of the votes. Personally, I would have placed my bet on Squad Busters, but it's actually Bloodstrike that steals the spotlight and becomes the best mobile PvP game of 2024. The title showcases its style that's half Valorant, half Apex, far ahead of Warzone at its launch. In the game, NetEase's FPS lets you play as strikers with unique skills. By the way, you probably recognize the special effects from Valorant with the walls and explosions, cartoonish in a semi-realistic world. The matches are quite intense and can be played either solo or cooperatively. The Battle Royale mode invites 100 players to compete until death, but that's not all there is to it. Indeed, there's also the 4v4 squad mode or the Hot Zone in Capture the Flag mode. With that and the roster of 10 unique characters, you have plenty of options to test out all kinds of playstyles, at a distance or even up close with a katana. If you're a fan of immersive experiences for a night or a long-term relationship, then adventure games are waiting for you. In the running for the trophy for Best Adventure Game, we have Potion Permit with its questionable concoctions, Stranger, Seas, and Culture. For mushroom consumers, Little Nightmares Mobile and its ultra-dark atmosphere is set in Risland, whose colorful open world invites exploration. What I can tell you is that the yellow raincoat still has bright days ahead of it. It's indeed Little Nightmares Mobile that takes the title in this category. Too bad for the budding alchemists. Turn off the lights and settle into your bed or on your couch for a horrifying descent into the Maw, a ship haunted by monstrosities that hide in the dark corners and they stretch their hungry hands towards you under the pale glow of the neon lights. Navigate through the levels at your tiny scale against the giant inhabitants. Climb, run, jump. Think about your moves and above all, don't get caught. The formula works perfectly on mobile for just €10. Victory by KO in the Roguelike category for 2024. Platypus was thrilled to see Hyde on the phone this year. Yaya loved Tidron of Mortar, which she's still farming by the way. I played Wildfrost and Balatro is a must-play, let's just say we all had our favorites. And the most satisfying roguelike loop is Hyde. According to your votes, the graphic and sound atmosphere in the game is monstrously good, along with the animations and the intense combat. Become Agreus, Prince of the Underworld and Son of Hades. Enter the realm of the depths for a journey you won't soon forget. The mobile port is true to the famous titles on PC, both in terms of the variety of its content and its depth. Meet enigmatic characters and dive into fast-paced, dynamic runs with totally unique builds. If you have a Netflix subscription, well, take the opportunity to take a trip to the Hells of Hyde on iOS. You won't be disappointed. Train your reflexes for speedruns and dynamic gameplay phases with the category of action or platforming games. Here, we saw Warframe Mobile and its Tenno face-off against Rainbow 6SMOL. In the cute version, the experience of Ninja Katana Hero and Death Door. Yaya and Platypus are big fans of Death Door, but the community has decided to elevate Warframe Mobile to the title of Best Mobile Action Game of the Year, with 65% of the votes. It's the ultimate cross-platform experience for Warframe, allowing you to seamlessly retrieve your save between your phone and console. Whether you're a new player in Warframe or a veteran, the game's content is just immense. You play as a Tenno, a powerful warrior equipped with a combat armor called Warframe. The third-person shooter invites you to select one of the 50 available armors and customize it. It's all about matching your playstyle. In addition to PvE, well, give PvP a chance and enjoy 1v1 duels or something. Test yourself in team mode, solar rail conflict, and cephalon capture. Unlock a variety of weapons and join your friends in multiplayer, facing tough missions in this free-to-play title on iOS, which will also be coming soon to Android. Even for the new year, we want to dive back into retro gaming sensations and visuals from another era. And that's why we have the category of old school or pixel art games, a category represented by Buried Bands 2, Loop Hero, Daron Tech, and Kingdom Rush. 5 Alliance TD. The results were quite balanced among 3 competitors. But Kingdom Rush garnered almost 50% of the votes, securing an easy victory. In this 5th title, the tower defense franchise is back in the spotlight with an alliance of 2 armies. On the gameplay side, this means being able to play 2 heroes at once. Choose from about 30 heroes and towers. Synergize the warriors, mages, and peasants to form an elite defense. The unlikely humor, the challenges, and the Easter eggs are always present. Face enemies across 3 terrains, game modes, and a campaign. The game. Daron Hyde is available on our phones for €9 on Android and iOS. Now that the group stages are over, and each category has a winner, the only thing left to find out is which one will be elected. Best Game of the Year voted by the community. The 9 champions of their respective categories are competing in the semifinals. We start the first match, which pits Boxy's Lost Fragments, the winner of the puzzle games, against TCG Pocket. On the casual and Zen games side, the Zero Zones, the famous Triple Z from the Gacha RPG category. On our networks, you all agreed to give the place of first finalist to Pokémon TCG Pocket with 60% of the votes. The others are going to have a hard time measuring up, so let's see who will be part of the competition in the other two semifinals. The second semifinal is a landslide victory, where the winner really outperformed both of their opponents. In the arena, Little Nightmares Mobile, Bloodstrike, and Waven are facing off. Waven, with over 50% of the votes, crushed the With over 50% of the votes, it's Waven that crushed the competition to secure a spot among the finalists. To complete this lineup, Hades from the Roguelike category, Warframe Mobile from the Action category, and Kingdom Rush 5 must defend their honor in the third semifinal. The community came out to support Hades, pulling it out of the Greek underworld and propelling it into the top 3 mobile games of 2024. After counting your votes, we have a very clear victory and a much tighter podium coming up next. Hades Mobile ranks in third place. That's already a very impressive score, considering it's only available on iOS through the Netflix subscription. Then Waven takes the second place. We see you, the little Ananta fanboys who farm Touchin 3.0, we are on the same team. In the end, you voted Pokémon TCG Pocket as the best mobile game of 2024. So, it wasn't really our favorite game from this list, but the weight of the licenses and a very well-crafted gacha make it an almost essential Pocket app for gamers. On behalf of the entire team, I want to thank everyone who made this event happen over the past few weeks, whether it's on our YouTube channel, our Instagram account, or our Discord server. We had some great releases in 2024, with standout indie games and some big new titles. And now, it's time for us to take a little sneak peek at what's coming up. 2020s? Let's kick things off with an overview. Highly anticipated releases by the team, from Valorant Mobile to Crashlands 2 and even Dredge. You're going to see there's really some heavy stuff. And to make the most of the launch of these games, I invite you to join the Mobi.gg Discord. If you haven't done so already, the community is talking a lot about the new releases and even organizing guilds or groups around trending games. It allows us to hype each other up when the releases come out. We're waiting for you on the Discord after this video, and before that, let's take a look at the games that are hyping us up for 2025. During the Tokyo Game Show 2022, the Chinese studio Legendary Star showcased the trailer for Ashfall, their upcoming post-apocalyptic MMORPG. In this survival shooter, you play as one of the few survivors of a nuclear war triggered by an artificial intelligence, with the aim of destroying all living species on the surface of the Earth. So, get ready to explore the ravaged landscapes of our planet and face numerous robots and creatures, to find the core of creation and save humanity. The cherry on top, the music for Hatchfall is created by famous composers like Inunzur, Steve Mazaro, and the iconic Hans Zimmer. It really makes you want to dive into cross-platform immersion on mobile and PC. Do you like horror atmospheres, ancient monsters and fishing? So you're going to love Dredge, which is coming to mobile. We say thank you to the developers of Black Soul Games. Set sail as a fisherman aboard your own trawler and complete missions given by the residents of different islands. Fish, trade, and upgrade your boat to encounter new species of fish and more or less strange creatures. But be careful, when night falls, the game suddenly takes a different turn, a bit more horrific in the style of Cthulhu. Steve Deadly Sin's origin is finally coming to our phones in 2025. The adaptation of Meliodas and his crew by Netmarble looks a lot like Genshin Impact, especially thanks to its open world, with dynamic combat and stunning landscapes. If you have a bit of love for the franchise, it's a gem you won't want to miss. If there's one game that we're getting spammed about in the recap comments and on Discord, it's definitely Valorant Mobile. Fortunately, things are moving forward as Riot Games has resumed teasing around the game and the testing phases are gradually kicking off at the beginning of the year. It looks like 2025 might finally be the release year for the 5v5 shooter from the creators of League of Legends. Ananta, formerly known as Project Mugen, has treated us to a brand new trailer and a new name to boot for the end of 2024. It's now called Ananta. That doesn't change its content since we're still waiting to dive into this action. Open world RPG, you'll be able to stroll around at your leisure or move in a Spider-Man style through the streets of Nova City. It looks punchy and dynamic, and we'll be able to test the beta soon before the full game release. Late 2025 or early 2026? Assassin's Creed Jade on mobile has taken all the elements of the franchise into an open world with stealth. Of the journey, a dose of mayhem, a bunch of side quests, and plenty of loot and hidden treasures on the map. In the game, you will find a new flying companion, Oriental and Western influences that mix, and an RPG system, like those of major titles on PC and console. Experience the story from a completely different angle with Assassin's Creed Jade, with all the major locations of ancient China like the Great Wall of China, the Terracotta Army, the Imperial Capital, and other beautiful landscapes. The studio Butterscotch and Hannigan's has announced the release of Crashlands 2 for April 10th, 2025. The sequel to the adventure and survival RPG of the same name invites you to return to the planet Wunop. By embodying Flux Dabs, an intergalactic trucker, Make friends with eccentric aliens, craft strange weapons, and challenge the established system. In this colorful open world, build a base, explore, and enjoy the RPG element system. After the success of Tower Fantasy, Hota Studio introduced us to Nevernest to Evernest, an open-world cross-platform RPG where you fight anomalies. The visual rendering is pretty stylish, featuring ray tracing and DLSS to boot. The metropolis of Hetero will be the stage for combat, street racing, parkour, and house buying. While you collect skills and characters in this gacha in 2025, we're diving into team dungeon crawling for this new year with Dark and Dark Mobile. This RPG mixes dungeon exploration, battle royale, and a dark medieval universe. You can choose from 6 unique classes. Fight and loot continuously in a tactical extraction cocktail that has already proven itself. Arknights has been one of the best gachas available on the market for years. With its lore, graphics, and gameplay, you can't deny that it's a very complete title that knows how to leverage its strengths. And the next one, Enfield, is already making some great promises by the end of August 2025. It will feature the story of Talos the Sun, an alien planet ravaged by a supernatural catastrophe, heading towards April 2025 with the release of One's Human. This survival game set in an open-world post-apocalyptic universe turns you into a meta-human. On the agenda, harvesting, crafting, and managing your base. PvE battles against aberrations and competition in PvP. And you can even traverse the entire continent of Nalkot with your own rolling base. The PvP and tactical game from Supercell, well, one of Supercell's PvP and tactical games I named Clash Mini is making its big comeback in June on our smartphones as a game mode in Clash Royale. We're really looking forward to picking up the game right where we left off. We'll surely dive into the world of martial arts in 2025 with the hidden ones, Itori no Shita. It's a 3D fighting, street, and parkour game that will really test your reflexes and tactical mind, all set in a pretty dark atmosphere that clearly intrigues us. After the helicopter, it's finally confirmed. Rust Mobile is coming to mobile. This multiplayer survival game challenges you to manage your vital needs: hunger, thirst, your health, and competition with other players in the wild. But will you be able to stand up to this hostile world? Well, that's what we'll see on the day of its release. The Game of Thrones games are really mediocre on mobile, but Game of Thrones Kicks Road looks ambitious enough to try to turn things around. This game, which has been making headlines for a few months now, invites you to face the wall, because that's where we see it best. With Jon Snow and his whole crew, complete your quests, choose your character class, explore and fight in this ultra-famous fantasy universe. We're completely changing the scenery with destructible walls in Rainbow Six Mobile, which is coming in 2025. And by the way, you can already play it. In attack, as in defense, try to achieve victory as a team, thanks to your choice of agent combinations, your shooting skills, and your stealth in this port of the original Rainbow Six experience. And there are also those games we're still waiting for, which are in soft launch or remain silent about the progress of their development, like Totally Accurate Battleground Simulator, Throne and Liberty, Roku Kingdom, Palware Mobile, Project Rise, which brings Clash, Heroes from the Dead, or even The Division Mobile. Make sure you don't miss the recaps in 2025. It's really going to be something big.